Okay, welcome to exercise number 17. This is data 240205. This one's actually an interesting model because they don't give you some information. For example, you don't know what the cylinder diameter is on this top piece. So unfortunately, it works better to draw this in a sort of a sketch mode because you have to basically draw your angles to figure out, based off your height and your width, what that cylinder tangency is to all three lines. So we'll have to do that on our sketch. We'll start with a solid extrude and then just edit the profile to get that shape. And then we can go through and just do the cuts, add some cylinders inside of here. And then this last piece is an arced cut here. Again, they don't give you that diameter for that. It's based on some dimensions here, so we'll show you how to do that as well. So interesting model, but easily can be done in IronCAD as well. So let's go ahead and start by drawing out an extrude here. And in our case, we want to use this profile here as our extrusion direction to use that. So it's pointing up here. We can do it this way, then just rotate, or we can just turn this on, rotate it 90 degrees to set us up in the right direction. So first thing we want to do is set our overall size of this thing. So we know this is going to be 5.875 out this way. Our width on this guy is 2.625. And our height value of the overall height of this model is 4. So that kind of gives us our basis for this. So now we can actually edit the cross section. So if we go ahead and edit that cross section, we can see this model here. What we want to define is some sort of height value. So you can put the cylinder on this side or that side, whichever one you want to do. I can put on this top one here. So we'll go this route. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to pull these two in because we need to have these angles. So the overall diameter in here is 14. So this needs to be 7 on these. So we can use this curve dimension if we like. So it's going to be 173 in that direction, and this one as well. We do that, it's going to be negative 173 as well for that. So that overall dimension, if we just want to see this, is going to be 14 if we click that. So it's going to be 14 there. So we don't need to create that, but just showing you that dimension. Next, we're going to use our circle to use 3 tangents because we want to be a tangent to basically this arc, this line, and this top line, because that's going to be our overall height for this value. And then we can simply just trim off this extra geometry here on the ends and our arc center part. So that basically gives our overall shape for our model. There's a through cylinder on this. It's the small cylinder, which we'll just drop through on here, and it's got a diameter of 0.5. So we'll just go ahead and put that on there in place. Next, we need to have a cutout here for the middle part. So I'm just going to drop that on the bottom in this case. So I can just pull this up to cut through, and then I can pull the side here. And we know the width of this is our inside width, which is 4.25 inside of there. And we know our bottom of this guy is actually the overall value minus 0.25. So we're just going to minus 0.25 there. Oops, forgot to put a minus in that thing. So click that. Minus 0.25. There we go. So that will give us our cut there for our shape. So that's our basic shape here. So now we can just add some additional geometry. So we know we have some fillets inside of here. So let's select our blend edge here, and that's a fillet of 0.5 on both sides of those. We can click enter to create those. And now we want to do the cylinder on here. So we're just going to drag and drop a cylinder here, and then we can snap it up here. So we didn't know that value before. And again, we also don't know, we know this actually, we don't know this value here. We have to do some calculations. So we can just actually double click on this handle. We know it's going to be 4.25 minus 350, 3.5. Oops. There we go. So that gives us that value. Divide that by 2 because it's going to be the same on the opposite side. So that'll give us our overall value of that. And then we can put our counterbore shape on here, which is actually a diameter of 1.25, and it's got a depth of 0.5 inside of there. So that's that shape there. So now we can select our cylinder and our cut, use the tri-ball, and we just put this on center and mirror that, link that to the other side to get that shape. So now we have that overall shape is there. That's done. So that's going to give us our basis here. Next, we need to do our rib. And in this case, I'm just going to drop an extrude on here to do this. It's fairly simple. So we just drop an extrude on here. And in this case, we can just right click, snap this to the outside because it doesn't matter. And we know that the base width of this is 0.5 on that. And we know the top of this guy is got an edit distance from point, which is our bottom here. It's got a top value on that of 1.5. Okay, so what we need to do now is add some tapers to this. So what we're going to do is actually go into our taper command, which is found on our feature ribbon, our draft face. Actually, not taper, but draft face. We're going to pick this bottom face, pick this side, and our other side face inside of here. So you can see that it's going on the inside because we want it as a total overall angles of 16. So it's 8 on both of those. And we can hit OK. So we've got that draft there. Next, we just need to do a blend command, and we can do a full round in this case. So we're going to pick our top face, our second face, which is on the other side. So we just hit tab or click in this field and click there, or hit tab there, and then we can select that center face to get a full round. That will give us our center rib there with that full round. So now we're pretty close here to the end. Last is to do this cut on the outside. So again, so we don't know some of the dimensions on this, but how we're going to do this is start with a cylinder here, and we're going to edit the cross section of that. That's Alt-E to cross section that. And it comes into this orientation. We can actually hit our flat view. It will toggle to the opposite side so we can get this. And what we're going to do is basically just offset one of these lines. So we're going to project as construction this curve here. We're going to offset that because we know the distance is going to be from here. It's going to be the 5.875 875 minus the 5.25. If you hit tab on there, and we're going to divide that by 2 because it's giving you this overall dimension. So we can divide that by 2 to get the half of that. So that's going to give us our offset distance. And in this case, we're going to flip that to the other side to get our inside here. We only need one of these curves for this case. So let's go ahead and place that. And now we just need to grab our arc, our center, our circle point, and snap to that location because that's right where it needs to intersect there in this case. So once we have that, we can hit finish. This is going to cut through our part, but we're going to actually edit this feature. If you hit E, we'll edit the feature. We're going to use an outside cut in this case. So we're going to outside cut that, and then we just grab our handle and pull that all the way through. So that will give us our nice smooth outside there. And if you want to refer to these dimensions, you can just check these real quick. If you want to select this guy, you can see that down at the bottom here. That's going to be the 5.25 value there. And then we have our height that's set already, and we have our shape, basically. That's everything that needs to be done. If you look at the properties, they want a value of 7,800 for the mass density. So you should be at 4.92, should be about the mass in pounds for this. Hopefully you enjoyed this demonstration, and we'll go on to the next.